Hello, everyone. Welcome to Accessible Moms. I am Coach Tori.
And I'm Jillian.
Today, we'll be talking about a subject that's been in the news recently, but I feel is very important to all women's and our rights.
So, to those of you who do not know, recently there was a bill that was introduced in the state of North Carolina, and that bill claims that life basically begins at the moment of conception. And so I'm going to be reading that statement of the North Carolina House Bill 1232 to you. Just to let you know, I did substitute a word to be more YouTube friendly, but all the other words of the statement are as written in the bill. So, any person who willfully seeks to destroy the life of another person by any means at any stage of life or succeeds in doing so shall be held accountable for attempted or for first-degree taking of a life, respectively. Any person has the right to defend his or her own life or the life of another person, even by the use of deadly force if necessary. And because the proposal is a constitutional amendment, if it passes, we could be seeing that bill on a ballot for the November midterms here in North Carolina. And with how this bill is written, it's pretty vague. The words can imply so many different things. So people can take it literally as how it is written, or they can see through the bill in a different lens, or there's another meaning in that bill that we're not seeing that the two representatives who wrote it put in there. I personally see it as how it is written, and that is basically just that men want to control women's bodies and essentially their rights and lives.
Yeah. This, for me, just takes us back to what are we in charge of? What do we control? And it seems as if that control is, again, trying to be taken away from us. I don't understand the importance of threatening incarceration or something more. Today, women are already in a place of their life being threatened on a daily basis. Mm-hmm. We see it, we read it every day. If women goes missing, they were unalived by their spouses, by their boyfriends. Who's to say someone couldn't lie and say that their partner threatened to end her pregnancy, and then they go and take her life? Will they get away with that just because? No. He say, she say, and she's gone. We're already a threatened species. And it seems that everything always falls on the woman. Everything is always our responsibility. Why is that? It takes two to make a baby. And as we all know, with every bill, there are always other hidden bills being associated with that one large bill. So we don't know what it all entails. And that's what we need to be aware of, and not just accepting, oh, this is what I believe in, with blinders on, and that's all you see. There could be so much more in there that you have no idea what you're agreeing to. This is not just about a woman's right. It's about our livelihood. When are we going to get to the point where we make men equally accountable for the babies being conceived and born? So I will go through more a little bit later, but my solution to this problem that I see as a problem, a woman's problem, is let's start by building more sperm banks. Why? Well, I feel once a young male is able to produce or create a child, they should be able to store their sperm and then get a vasectomy. Once they're ready, if ever, to become a father, then they could go to the proper steps to make that happen, to create a family. What is the purpose of this? Well, you'll have, less or no unwanted pregnancies. Females who are SA by their father, brother, cousin, stranger, whomever, and become pregnant won't have to live with bearing and raising a child
that they didn't ask for.
It will prevent, I say fathers, but men who chooses to walk out of a child's life and not accept their financial responsibility. Will prevent that. You will have less families on welfare. I think for so many reasons, it would be beneficial, but most importantly, it would be equal, right? The woman should not carry the burden always. It takes two. And it's time that we stand up and demand men take their responsibility as well. Don't threaten our lives. Our lives are threatened every day just for being female. I don't understand how this is okay with anyone. I'm not saying one way or another I'm for or against what the whole bill is about. I am for women's rights. Women to say what happens and doesn't happen with their bodies. One other thing. I had 3 miscarriages. Each pregnancy obviously was not viable. And they did not expel themselves as they normally do. So I had to have surgery, which will be the same type as the topic at hand. So I would like to know, because I had to have this surgery to remove the tissue today, or if this bill were to pass, would I be charged with a crime? Because then if I could not have that procedure done, I would have to continue to have the tissue in my body for as long as it took to disintegrate or whatever it does. So not only am I dealing with the emotional loss of what could have been, I'm dealing with having to daily have a reminder that what I wanted is no longer, because I couldn't have the proper surgery to take care of it. When you make these bills, you need to be very clear what it all entails. And women need to know. I would not want to go one more day than necessary knowing that the life I was hoping for is no longer, not even a possibility, but I have to sit with knowing it's still there. There are so many things surrounding pregnancy in general with women, postpartum depression, and so many other different things we go through that no one thinks about, no one talks about, and it's taboo. But motherhood is emotional. Every part of it. But now we have people who want to continually to take us back, decades back to where we're property. We have no rights. We have no thoughts. We have no say. We are equal. We are equal. We're human beings just like men. And I just want to ask, if you are a male watching this right now, how did you feel when I said, let's have them store their sperm and get vasectomies? I'm sure there was a little, okay, we feel that way every day. Every day. And I don't want my daughter, possible future granddaughter, anyone having to worry about someone else making choices for their body and they have no say. We need to stop putting all the burden on women. No, we didn't ask to be assaulted because we chose to wear a certain skirt. We're not asking to be approached, period, for walking down the street and being female. If anything else, the roles should be reversed, right? The behavior of men towards women. And everyone who's in agreement with this, because they're looking through blinders and they're only seeing the one thing that they agree with in this, you got to broaden that visual because there's so much more to it. And once you go there, it's going to be very difficult to go back.
And also, within that clause or that sentence in the bill where it says that a person can use deadly force if necessary, that would end up harming the baby in whatever stage it is as well if that person used force against the woman. So you're really harming the very thing that you're trying to protect as well.
Yeah, and as I said before, you're giving the men who are already unaliving and harming women another excuse to be able to do that freely. Look up the
statistics.
Yeah, for yourself. This is, it's not good. And I will hope, if you're a mother of a son and you were even shocked by what I said, just think about it. With all the money that's being spent now, think about how much could be saved if we take this route. I think it's a fair solution.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that being said,
yeah,
there's a lot more to talk about on the topic, but I just had to talk about this because no one is talking about it. And everybody is just waiting to see what the government is telling us we can do and cannot do with our bodies.
Yes.
Yeah, why don't you read just some of these benefits for...
So what are the benefits of...
Yeah, for my solution.
Oh, for your solution? Okay, yeah. Well, it will cost less money in the long run is one of them. As you said, it prevents unwanted pregnancies. It also promotes responsibility for both parties, I would say.
Right.
Yes. Women won't have to take birth control contraceptives, which could be dangerous for many women. This bill, or the underlying tone of this bill, would also threaten like IVF and birth control options for women as well. So less to no stress of becoming pregnant while being intimate. Definitely, that's a big one. The mental toll is great. And then have both parties free will to have children or not to have children. Okay, so basically they're saying whether they want to have children or not. So those are all the benefits.
You just touched on something with the IVF, though. Mm-hmm. So if they're trying to prevent that, and we're saying the solution is for males to store their sperm, that will have to go through IVF. So then we won't have any babies.
Yay. Declining birth rate.
Politicians need to really think, ask people their opinions, really do a deep dive before trying to come up with a bill that is so against humanity.
Yeah. There's so many different angles, like you said, instead of looking at things from blinders on, there's so many different angles and questions that you have to ask. Okay, if we stop this, then is there another solution for this? But they're just looking at it as this is it. If you try to go against it, that your actions will have consequences.
Yes. So again, this wasn't the most well-planned video, so sorry if we were all over the place, but I think we got our point across. And please, we need to have dialogue. Talk to people talk to your representatives, talk to doctors, whomever. The other thing I wanted to say that I when I was talking about my miscarriages, we already know today, oftentimes doctors will prescribe a surgery or a certain treatment for their patient. And then the patient hears from the insurance company that, oh no, you don't need that. Oh no, that won't be covered because we don't feel you need that. Okay, they're not the doctors, but it happens. We know that. So in my case, if I was told you have to go and have this procedure done, right? And the insurance says, no, we can't do that. We can't do that surgery. Guess what? It's not just about freeing my body of this tissue. That it can also become toxic to me if it stays in there long enough and not dispel itself. So is my life less worthy? Things to ponder.
Don't forget, without us women, what will you have?
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, we may touch on this topic again. We're going to wait and see where it goes from here. But like I said, this solution came to me years ago when, I believe as soon as Roe v. Wade was overturned and all the talk about women and what to do with their bodies came up. I still believe my body, my choice.
My body and my choice.
So be it. So till next time, please do your research. Please, if you have questions or thoughts about anything, do your research and not just from one source. Don't just listen to me. This is only our opinions, life experience that we're sharing. But we have to do more to educate ourselves on what bills really mean, to ask questions, what else is within that bill you're trying to pass, because you can just be signing your life away, you know? Anyway, again, till the next time, take care.
Please scare. Like, share, and subscribe.
Yes, we'd like to get more women, females to be aware of this channel, which may help them and their children in the future. So the more you can share, this is just about helping. So take care until next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.